Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
When I moved to New Orleans, I literally didn't know anyone within a 500-mile radius. I was alone with God. And for me, that was a good thing. He grew me a lot. In Genesis 13:14, after Abram's nephew Lot, along with his flocks, herds, and tents, moved to Sodom of all places, Abram was left alone with God. And that's a good place to be, just you and God, right? God spoke to Abram again and gave him a second set of promises, complementing the first. This is from Genesis 13:14 through 17. Lift your eyes now and look from the place where you are, northward, southward, eastward, and westward. For all the land which you see, I give to you and your descendants forever. And I will make your descendants as the dust of the earth, so that if a man could number the dust of the earth, then your descendants also could be numbered. Arise, walk in the land through its length and its width, for I give it to you. Again, God gave him one command, but many promises. Abram looked in every direction, north, south, east, and west. Yes, even east, where Lot settled. He looked in faith, as God told him all the land would eventually belong to his descendants. In this set of promises, God doesn't specify a son, but He goes over and above that. Abram would have descendants more than the dust of the earth, more than can be counted. We see that now, don't we? His descendants are spread all over the earth. Not only the Jews, but other nations that can trace their tree back to Abram. Not to mention spiritual descendants like that kid's song, Father Abraham had many sons. I remember singing that as a kid and thinking, but Abraham only had one son and I'm not one of them. I'm not even related. But as Christians, we're all descendants of Abraham and heirs to the promise that God gave him. Then God gave Abram a command. At the very end, He said, Arise, walk in the land through its length and its width, for I give it to you. Take a tour of the land. So Abram did, but he ended up settling by the oaks of Mamre, where he built an altar, as he often did, and sacrificed to the Lord, claiming the promises and thanking Him. What promises in the Bible are meant for you? What promises has God given you personally? He's given me some pretty specific promises, some of which are in the process of being fulfilled, and some are in the impossible stage. But when I get discouraged, like I did one time, God will remind me of a verse that I cling to. In context, when Mary found out that she would have the Messiah, she took a step of faith to visit Elizabeth. Her cousin, without even knowing exactly what promises Mary had received, told her, Blessed is she who believed, for there will be a fulfillment of those things which were told to her from the Lord. So, just in believing, I'm blessed. I may not live to see the promises fulfilled, but they will happen. Abraham didn't live to see his descendants inherit the land. In fact, he died when his twin grandsons, Jacob and Esau, were only 5 years old. But he believed, and he was blessed. Do you claim the promises God has given you? How have you acted on those promises? For Abraham, it was touring the land. For me, it was starting this podcast and making business cards that I call faith cards. What step of faith is God calling you to take toward your promise?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you can find in the description below. Thank you for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.